Well, look at you. Loaded into Skyrim, ready to play the game. But what's this? MCM menu, settings, oh my god, so much stuff to go through. Well, not to worry, that's what this video is all about. I'm here to help you out with that. So, this video takes place after you've created your character, and you're kind of standing there, and you're being spammed with all these messages. So what you want to do is just wait for everything to run its course. Right now, Skyrim is firing off all the various scripts and things that the mods require, and to really do anything at this point could cause some instability. So I recommend just standing here and waiting for all of this to get done. Also, you're going to see a bunch of boxes pop up. Just click OK. Some of them are warnings, some of them are just some notifications. Just click OK through them and you'll be fine. Okay, now that all of that spam is done, we're ready to set up our settings. So hit escape, and first thing we're going to do is go into settings. We're going to go into display, and we're going to turn on the subtitles. So dialogue, subtitles is what we want, and also depth of field. We're going to minimize this as much as possible. This is to make things work nicely with the ENB that we're using. Alright, so let's tab back out of that, tab again, and now we want to go into controls, and we're going to change some hotkeys here. So we're going to set quick save to F9 and quick load to F10. There we go. Now we're ready to go into MCM menu. So click tab or press tab, and we're going to go into mod configuration here. This is the MCM. There we go. So I should also note that all these settings here are mostly recommendations. You could kind of choose whatever settings you want to do. These settings here are tailored towards the gameplay and difficulty experience that Lexy's guide is tailored around. So while we're going through this, feel free to deviate if you feel like it. It's not really going to break anything. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is a matter of time. We're going to set up the mod, the widget. So click on that, go into just general. And for here, we just want to, for symbol number 1, show seasons and show moon faces. Tick those 2 boxes here. All right, now go into display. And then symbol number 1, we want to set the scale to 60. That's right here. You could use ARD to fine tune. All right, horizontal anchor to the right. Horizontal offset, -50. Vertical offset to 0. Now the in-game clock, set the scale to 70. The horizontal anchor to the right. Horizontal offset, -45. Vertical offset to 48. Then in-game date, set the scale to 70. Horizontal anchor to the right. Horizontal offset, -45. And vertical offset to 57. And it should look like this. Looks good. All right, let's continue on. So press escape, go to mod configuration, and now we're looking for cathedral weather. So this is in alphabetical order, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. So in cathedral weather, we're going to go into settings, look into general, we're going to untick this box. This setting here was here before the MCM existed for cathedral weather. You would use spells to make your tweaks, but since you have the MCM, we don't want the spell to clutter our spellbook, so we're checking that to get rid of it. Seasonal perspective, bam. Make summers appear warm and winters appear cold. Good stuff. Hit tab. Now we're going to go to complete alchemy right here. Very good. So look under cooking and water section right here. And we're going to disable craft water. And get water from wells, we're going to disable that. Now we're going to go to basic needs right here. Enable hunger penalties, make sure that's disabled. Mine is already disabled. It's because we're using realistic needs and diseases, I guess. I want realistic needs and diseases, so we don't want this enabled. Let's go to help, ragdoll physics. We want to turn that off. There we go. All right, tab back. Complete crafting now. So click on recipe display. Now we're going to go to crafting menu filters here. Crafting categories, we want to disable that. Item type filters, we're going to disable that as well. And breakdown recipes, we want to enable that. All right, now go over to crafting options. All right, we want artifact replicas enabled, and we want matching set circlets enabled. And you could read what it does down here, down below here, when you highlight them. Okay, learning XP, we're going there. Smoothing experience, that's this section right here. Tanning rack, we're gonna set this to 0.1, so you get a little bit of experience whenever you use the tanning rack. Smelter to 0.2, so you get a little bit of experience for whenever you smelt things. Mining to 20. So normally you don't get experience for using these abilities, but now you do. Alright, so now learn to craft. Points required to craft, 250. I'm not sure what this does. The number of learning points required before those items can be crafted, deconstructing most items will result in either 25 or 50 learning points. Okay. So I guess when you come across things out in the wild and you... What is it? When you deconstruct them, you learn how to make them eventually. Okay, that's pretty cool. I never really used that. Maybe I will this time. Okay, so mining of materials. Faster mining. So it doesn't take forever whenever you want to mine. That's cool. And then firewood per chop. Normally you get 2 pieces of wood for every chop, and you get 6 chops per activation. This makes it more efficient. You still get the same amount of wood, but you get 6 all in one go. Yeah. So you want to set firewood per chop to 6, and max per activation to 1. Alright, we're done with complete crafting, so tab back. Now we're going to go into Deadly Dragons. So click on Dragons, Presets. We want to set this to Expert, because dragons aren't supposed to be pushovers, you know. Dragon Special, we're going to disable Knockdown, because those knockdowns are annoying. Alright, now we're going to go into Diverse Dragon Collections 3. So click on Dragons, and we're going to disable some dragons. I think it's because they're kind of buggy, or maybe they cause instabilities or things. I'm not sure. Alright, so we're getting rid of the Nether Dragon. We're going to get rid of Sanguine Dragon. And we're going to also get rid of Bile Dragon. Alright, so tab back. Now we're going to go into Dynamic Things Alternative right here. ECCM resplicing, you won't be able to open the config menu again until splice is complete. Okay. So the changes that we made in Diverse Dragons Collections 3, it's well, resplicing the leveled list for dragons, so we gotta let it do that. So just tab all the way out and just look at your character until you see a message in the top left part of the screen. It'll tell you when the splicing is done. There it is. Now we can go back in configuration. Okay, so Dynamic Things Alternative. Alright, so all we're doing is all crates will be disabled. Okay. So we're disabling all these crates. Because there's so many crates in the game. And the way how this mod works, it causes a very heavy script load. And it could cause lag. So to reduce that, we're disabling all the crates. There we go. So tab back. Now we're going into Easywheel. Harvesting settings change. You have to restart Skyrim to see all dynamically replaced items revert to original forms. Okay, so it's letting you know that you need to restart the game in order for Dynamic Things Alternative to fully take effect. Okay, so we're going to continue on with the MCM. Just remember, you got to restart your game. That's the first mod that I've come across that requires that. Interesting. Okay, Easywheel. We're going into the general section. Use swap mode. We want to enable that. So let's see. Okay, so for show, we're going to use... Lexy is recommending mouse 5, but you could set it to whatever you like. I use a controller, so I usually use the up directional pad, but right now I'm mouse and keyboard, so let's just play along. I'm going to use whatever this button is on my mouse, so okay. So I set my specific button on my mouse. I'm using a Logitech, which has a ring finger button, which is awesome. So my hotkey is B, but you set this to whatever you want. Alright, then next, the guide is saying right arrow, but you can set it to whatever you want, whatever works for you, and left. Okay. So available functions now. Click on this. Earthfire multiple kit adoptions, we're turning this off. Or rather, we're going to set it to hidden. because we don't have Hearthfire multiple adoptions installed. Double can relax, same reason. And simple actions, yeah, we're hiding those because we don't have these mods installed and we don't need those hotkeys showing up. So let's go into configuration. Current wheel, set this to 2. Boom. And now we're going to set 1 to horse whistle. This is concerning like convenient horses, and number 2 is horse call. Okay. So let's tab all the way out so show you what that is. Okay, so now I'm going to press that hotkey, which is my mouse button, which is B. So it's sort of like a quick menu. Cool. All right, let's continue on. Mod configuration, right here. Now we're going to go to ESF companions. All right, let's go into requirements. So requirements. Requirements before you do your trial, this section here. This is like the requirements that you need to meet before this quest will come up. All right, so do quests for each member of the circle. We're disabling that requirement. And player level, we're gonna set it to the player level needs to be, you need to be level 30 in order for this quest to fire. Like once again, you can set this to whatever you want, but this mod list is meant for like a long playthrough. So level 30. Now we're going to go into before joining the circle. Requirements needed before joining the circle quest will pop. And we're also doing this here. Do quests for each member of the circle. We're disabling that requirement, and we're setting the player level to 40. There. All right, then finally before Cadillac's request. So disabled. Well, that's already disabled. Do quests for each circle member. That's disabled. And player level, we're setting this to 60. So remember, you can set this to whatever you want. Like most people finish this quest before they're level 20. But this is meant to so that the game, you know, feels more meaningful, I guess. So tab back. Now let's go into expanded towns. Okay, go into settings. Okay, so fortification, walls, we want to disable basically all of them. Because that could probably have some weird clipping issues, that's my guess. Alright, so tab back. Whoops, I accidentally hit tilde. Don't hit tilde. Alright, now we're going to go into EVG conditional idles. So, player tab, we're turning off the modesty stuff. Normally, like when you're naked, your character will like cover themselves. We're going to do that also for the NPCs. Okay, so tab back. Farmhouse chimneys. Click on mod support. And we want cutting room floor enabled right here. Under miscellaneous mods. Then under mod compatibility, we want to enable expanded towns and cities. Okay, tab back. Now follower framework. Click on activity. Under sandboxing, we want only sandbox and town enabled. And multi-level sandboxing enabled. Oh, right here. Just scroll down just a little bit. Otherwise, yeah, your follower will only sandbox on its current level that it's on. Like say you're in Bree's home, Lydia will only sandbox on what, the first floor? Well, no, that's a little different. With Palace Skulls, it's a different. Like say you leave a character at the inn, character will just, your NPC will only sandbox on the ground floor and won't go up to the various different floors and all that. Okay, so now let's go into the mounts section right here. So scroll down just a bit until you get to this point here. Okay, so for mount support, we don't want any support. We don't want this mod to handle anything with horses because we have convenient horses that's going to do that. Okay, click on gameplay right here. Now look for the bleed out section. So just scroll down until you see it. Oh, it's right here. Okay, towards right here. All right, so revive after combat. We want that enabled. There we go. And then under potion recovery, yeah, any weak to strong. There we go. Okay, so let's tab back. Let's go into Frostfall now. All right, it should be noted. Do not activate this mod if you're gonna play the vanilla start. Like if you choose the vanilla start option, do not enable Frostfall now. Do it after you finish Helgen. Otherwise, this is what you do. Click on overall, and we have to enable it. All right. I'll click on gameplay. Oh, tab all the way out and let Frostfall start. You'll get this nice little message for role-playing reasons. Okay, now we're ready. So let's go back into the mod configuration menu, go into Frostfall. Alright. So click on gameplay. Okay, fast travel and waiting, we want to disable these, or rather enable these. This is for immersion reasons. I mean, like I said, you could do whatever you want. You know, if you want to be able to fast travel, you know, leave these as default. All right, let's go to meters. Layout presets. Okay, meters. Layout preset. We want this to be set to bottom left, which it already is. Okay. Accept. Accept. All right. All right. So click on the box here. Show advanced settings. Exposition. Exposition. What a show. The exposition. We want this to be at 640. You could use A and D once again to fine tune. Y position. We want that to be 0. All right. Horizontal anchor. Set that to center. And a vertical anchor to top. There we go. Now let's set up the wetness meter. So uncheck this and check this. We're going to set the X position to 0. The Y position to 726.5. That's max. And that's it for that. So let's disable this now and enable this. The temperature meter. Okay. So fill direction. That's the first thing we're going to do. Whoop, not flipped. Bah, fill direction right here. We want that to go to the right. There we go. Okay, exposition. We want this to be set to 1,315. 1,315. Ugh. I wish they would let us manually enter this. All right. 1,315. Boom. Yeah. Accept. The Y position, 726.5. We already got that. Horizontal anchor. We want to set this to the right. Okay, we're done with Frostfall. Okay, let's go to Gist Soul Trap. Right, so click on main. For these messages here, we want to disable these and enable the last one. So it should look like this. All right, let's click on leveling. We want to enable the leveling system. And the skill that it levels are what this mod is tied to is for some reason conjuration. But it makes more sense for it to be enchanting, so set it to enchanting. So tab back. Now go into immersive HUD. Okay, go into activation. Look for compass activation. And enable a key press toggle. Boom. So when you press X, your HUD will come up. You can change this to whatever you want. All right, now we're going into options. We want to enable fast fade magicka and fast fade stamina. All right, we're done with that mod. Tab back, go into immersive interactions. That's strange. I don't see any immersive interactions here.